A while back, we looked at a great option for getting into macro shooting on a budget with our Fujifilm X Bodies. So for balance, I wanted to revisit the topic and take a quicker look at the MEIKE MK-F-AF3 autofocus option. Is it basically the same, and is it worth £26.99? First off, they're basically the same as the JJC versions, and indeed the way more expensive Fujifilm versions. Some say the Fujifilm versions are heavier and sturdier, but so far I've had zero issues with these cheaper tubes, and indeed the JJC versions. Naturally, like most gear, you could well get a duff, so as usual you'll take precautions by buying them from somewhere reliable like Amazon. I've left a link below if you like, and then fit them very carefully, especially the first time, to make sure all is good, as you would with pretty much most tech, or at least you should. All they are really are extension tubes with electronic contacts for autofocus and data transmission, and they fit nice and easy and work straight away. Now, we did get a bit of a compatibility chart, but Fujifilm have a better one on their website, which I'll flash up too, and you can download for yourself. So you want to take a look at that to see which of the lenses that you own will get you closer to true macro, which is 1:1 and above. For me, that's this 18mm f2. Alas, I don't own the beautiful 80mm, which would be much better, and for more reasons than the macro factor itself. The problem with the 18mm is, of course, you've got to get all this stuff off, and then once you're there good and ready, you've got to get so close to the object that it's hard to light well. It's not impossible though, as we can see. I decided to use the 60mm as well, without that wild lens hood. Now, as we all know, the 60mm is marketed as a macro lens, but as we also know, it's not a true macro lens, but it is a superb sharp lens, which is why I still own it. With this lens, I can still fill the frame as well as the 18mm with each tube combined. Also, I don't need to be almost touching the subject, which will come in handy when the wind calms down outside and I can get personal with some bugs. In use, it's simple. Fit them to your lens as you would fit your lens to the camera. So we line up the red dots there, and again on the camera there, and we're good to go. Now, of course, we can stack these by following the exact same procedure, he says. There we go. And let's mount that to the body, and we're good to go. Now, the autofocus works absolutely fine, but you might find it easier working at such close distances by putting the lens into manual focus and repositioning the camera, adjusting slightly while having the subject in a vice grip or on a tripod, or simply static on the tabletop, for example. Then you can drop your ISO to 200 and stop down your lens to, you know, you can go 11, 16, 22 if allowed. That's a creative thing. When you're doing macro work with these tubes, shooting wide open note can result in the finest hair of focus. So I'd recommend stopping down at first, at least f8 onwards. If you can get away with 22, go for it. Why not? For this test, I didn't go crazy. You know, the real purpose of the video is to see if we can recommend these tubes. So, frankly, yes, they're the same as the JJC option and arguably the Fujifilm ones. And so, yes, having bought and tested my own MEIKE and JJC tubes from Amazon, I can recommend them. Whether you end up with these or the other options, again, just use common sense and you'll be fine. Remember, not everything that is cheap is tat. Now, as an aside, playing around with this kind of shooting, stopping right down to f22 will show up any spots on your sensor. As you probably noticed, it looks like my X-T2 needs a little sensor clean. As always, I'll leave links below. Check out my JJC video as well if you haven't. And yep, that's it. Let us know how you get on in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe and I'll see you there.